Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
But the barrage! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Wash is down 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here.
The enemy team gets a 4-man tire! Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won. 100 and 3 with the primal rage!
Experience tranquility.
Once upon a time, there was a tournament known as Tranquility Gaming. They were hosting their 8th season and had just started the playoffs for their North American Discord tier. The first week of these playoffs would see a revitalized Storybook Heroes facing off in the knockout bracket against a struggling Oreo fleet, desperate to keep themselves afloat. Who would continue their run through the Tranquility Gaming playoffs? That's what we're here to decide. Good evening, everybody. My name is Bowsy, and I'm joined here by Thoryume on the cast and Boof on production as we bring you tonight's Discord tier feature match between the number 9 seeded Storybook Heroes and the number 8 seeded Oreo fleet. Thea, how are you doing this evening?
Been hectic, but hey, we have the last match for this week to decide how the Discord tier brackets are going to be looking, and I'd like to see whether Oreo Fleet is going to turn this around on their side, or if Storybook Heroes is going to continue with their 3-0 run through the elimination bracket. They did win all their elimination bracket games.
Yeah, definitely Storybook Heroes, as I mentioned, revitalized, getting that 3-0 win in stage number 2. Already getting a better win streak than their stage number 1 record, where they only won against Monarch. Oreo Fleet, on the other hand, struggling in stage number 2. They have not won, and they only won one match in stage number 2. And this has kind of been a cycle ever since they lost in week number 4 to Hammerhead. They have not been really able to pick themselves up. So hopefully they'll be able to bring themselves back here in this matchup, because this is when it matters the most. One of these teams is going home tonight. The other is going to get a chance to face off next week against Ragnarok Fenrir in the second round of the knockout bracket. It's going to be interesting to see who gets to advance here, Thea. Our first map is already looking interesting from the side of Oreo Fleet. They are the higher seed, and they chose Lijiang Tower.
Wait. Lijiang Tower's not even in the pool, Bowser.
Never mind. Listen, the lobby was set to Lijiang Tower. They're actually setting the map to Oasis. It's been a very long week for both.
Wait. Oasis is not in the map pool either.
This is why I'm not a player. We will get the map eventually sorted. It's between the... In reality, they haven't. I'll be honest. We are experiencing some difficulties. We have a little bit of trouble on the move side. Our producer, obviously, not had the best of days as of recently. Please send all your love to Booth as we try to get these stuff sorted. But now you see our blank boxes. We'll sort this out eventually. We'll get everything sorted and be able to get all the sort of production stuff ready for the broadcast. But regardless of the fact, it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams go, and if brackets are going to be busted here this afternoon. So we'll see which team is able to come out on top here and which team's going to be able to take advantage of what's going on.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, we currently are waiting on, like, where, there we go. We should be visible now on the cast.
Yeah.
Our audio should still be there. The audio's been on, I'm pretty sure, this entire time. But yeah, Booth's had some issues with technology. All our producers are having issues with technology. Hopefully, we'll be able to get everything sorted here when we get all the maps and such sorted. But it's going to be interesting, again, to see this matchup go out here. And hopefully, we'll be able to see what the first map of the game is eventually.
I mean, higher seed really only has 3 picks to go by. That's Busan, Ilios, and Nepal. So we'll see how it goes from there. But we did ask about how your brackets were doing, Bowsy, and which tier looks at least promising to be following your ideal bracket.
Well, let me look at my notebook right now, because I'm pretty sure the tier that's actually looking the most promising is Discord tier. I only have one match that was ruined this week, which was Firefight versus Poseidon, where Poseidon pulled off a big upset, 3-2, to take the victory there. But other than that, Quokka Queens winning against Frost Surge, Rampaging Inferno beating Space Created, Redacted beating Fenrir, Oath beating Valkyrie, Hammerhead beating Monarch, and Domination beating Inferno Foxes all have been good thus far. This match is really going to be interesting to see which of these two teams will be able to decide how well my Discord bracket is. If I go 7 for 8, or if I'm only going to be able to get 6 for 8 in the first round of the playoffs.
So we're not going to spoil what team you ended up picking in your bracket, right?
No.
we're gonna.
If you want to know what team I picked up, you can watch the VOD for bracketology after this last Monday. But now we're finally getting into the series here. Our first map is going to be Busan, chosen by Oreo Fleet, the higher seed in this series. So it's going to be interesting to see what the plans are here for both of these teams.
It seems like Busan is such a huge, like, I think it's their go. It's a lot of teams' go-to, at least. And I don't know, like, I started out on. I think when I played yesterday, it started out on Busan. I think that also is the case for a lot of people. I guess it's more stable for some teams and standardized. So we're going to be starting off in Busan, and we will be in Sanctuary.
Correct.
The one with the big drum in the middle, and then the drum on that other room in the pagoda. So coming out, looking at what both these teams have, I only have more questions than answers. It looks like Oreo Fleet might be running. Oh, we have a pause already.
Yeah, Oreo Fleet is running a pause to start off the series here. Well, I think that has to be a world record for a playoff feature match that has a pause right in the beginning. This seems like they're going to be working it out. It is because of spectators. They accidentally had the wrong sides for the spectators. This is a lesson to all of you people who are running lobbies. Please don't swap the sides. Especially when they are perfectly determined in the beginning of the match. It causes pain for our producers, causes pain for your spectators, and causes pain for everything. Once it gets started, though, we will be getting back into the series. It looks like they're starting to get everything sorted here. And we're going to be getting back in here eventually so we can get back into the match and actually see what these two teams are going to be running here, as Busan Sanctuary doors will be opening in 10 seconds.
Okay, in 10 seconds, you have Oreo Fleet running something that is called a possibly double shield with a Tracer Ash with what the fuck is this? Brawl Tanks? Oh.
And
servers?
it's a reset.
Oh, reset. Meaning we're in a new location now, guys, because whenever we reset lobbies, the map we start in changes. From Sanctuary, we have now found ourselves in Mecha Base. Mecha Base is known for, I guess most teams run brawl comps, at least in the Harmony tier level. But I know in Discord tier there have been some changes. Some people would opt to still run the brawl comp, but you also have some people running ball comps also on Mecha Base. So it would be interesting to see what these two teams are planning to go for. And from the looks of it, it seems like both teams are going for that brawl comp that, you know, we tend to see on Mecha Base. If I'm to believe what I'm seeing, both teams are running exact mirrors of each other of a Cass Doomfist DPS lineup, which is very different from what I've seen of things like a Doomfist Sim, or maybe a Cass Mei, or a Sim Mei. Oh, never mind. Storybook Hero switched to a Mei. So both sides running the same hero lineup, except Oreo Fleet has Doom and Storybook Hero has Mei.
Mei will allow for that sort of wall to be able to split out the enemy team, but the Doomfist allows for that more faster engaging. Already a lot of damage coming out here from Storybook Heroes and Oreo Fleet. You already see Uncle OC Man falls immediately low, and Dottie able to get the final kill out there. And now Storybook Heroes starting to clean it up. Davion and Genji Manning showing up in the kill feed, as Storybook Heroes going to win the first fight, and they'll be able to get the first cap here on Busan Mecha Base.
Yep, and I honestly think that came with a really good wall from water to start things off. It kind of caused map disruption, and in response to that, Oreo Fleet has opted to play mirror to this, and Concept switches over to the Mei out of the Doomfist. Let's see, I'm thinking they're probably going to try pushing top to get a wall to hopefully get some form of engagement.
Big wall coming out there from Concept, tries to spread off Davian, will do exactly that, freezes up the D.Va, won't be long anymore. Shatter comes out from Genji Man, gets blocked there by Uncle OC Man, trying to keep himself alive there on the Reinhardt. Gets stunned out from the charge, back and forth thus far, but there's the freeze coming out from Water. Uncle OC Man falls once again on the side of Oreo Fleet. Now without their main tank, the rest of Storybook Heroes just starting to pile right on top of them. And that May from Water doing business right now. Geomancer gets frozen up. Duty dies to Blinded, however, but Davion just cleans up the rest of the fight. And that's another one fight here for Storybook Heroes. Oreo Fleet back to the drawing board.
Yeah, that's a clean fight, I think, from the side of Storybook Heroes. And, you know, Blinded did do his best, but it looks like Storybook Heroes will be down their BAP, so they might need to play a bit safer unless Alicat can build this beat to help them sustain through it. There's likely going to be an ult from Water coming in, and there we go.
Big wall, however, from Concept to split off the rest of the team. Dottie's Deadeye unable to get anything, and both Shatters really don't get a lot apart from the maze. Beat comes out from both sides. Alley Cat, Mr. Oreo Man, both investing that beat to try and turn the tide. There comes the Blizzard coming out from Concept, and they get booped off the map. Courtesy, or no, it was Blinded who got booped off the map, but still, that's going to be Oreo Fleet claiming the point here. Storybook Heroes invest the bomb here from Davion, and it gets a Smee. Excuse me. Davion trying to turn this fight around here for the side of Storybook Heroes as they are still alive on the point and trying to keep themselves alive through all of it. Somehow, Storybook Heroes flip it around, and they will be getting this cap back eventually once they clean up the stragglers here for the side of Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, that's clean up for the side of Storybook Heroes, and I think what was a good play there, I think, is just through all that chaos, there was actually very split target focus, so I honestly am not sure how that worked, but I'm sure the Blizzard from Concept did help a lot initially for Oreo Fleet to get a pick and to get a fight, but coming up to this, it looks like there's going to be an ult advantage for Storybook Heroes.
Shatter from Uncle OC Man doesn't get anything. The bomb comes out from Geomancer as well. Dottie's already found the kill on the Blinded, but Esme finds out the kill onto that Cassidy as well. Oreo Fleet trying to push big this. It's overtime now as the kill's going in favor, back and forth. Storybook Heroes unable to touch the point, however. Oreo Fleet able to cap it, but they're already 2 people down. Uncle OC Man is the only person alive there with the Baptiste of Esme, and both of them will die in the end. Concept's all that's left here on the Tracer. Blinded gets the Deadeye kill on the Q, so it's really back and forth, and all that's left is Alley Cat, Lucio, Dottie on the Cassidy, and Blinded on the Cassidy. Blinded will die, and it's still back and forth, but Storybook Heroes might have the advantage in this fight in the long run.
Yeah, fight's still ongoing. Ults are being invested by both sides, especially on the side of Storybook Heroes, knowing that they just need to clear up these stragglers in order to get the point and win this.
Yeah, big kill there from Alley Cat as well to get rid of Uncle OC Man. Davion has this bomb if they want to try and invest it. Looks like they will after they lose that mech. Blizzard once again comes out here from Water. Dottie able to get the kill on the Concept, and Storybook Heroes cleaning up the fight one by one. Overtime once again triggered here for Oreo Fleet as all that's left is Mr. Oreo Man on the point. Now Uncle OC Man trying to get the touch, but it won't be enough here. Storybook Heroes look like they're going to be able to win Mecha Base here 100% to 60% on the side of Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, that was such a long fight between those teams just to retake. Ults were invested by both sides. Stragglers were just coming in and using ultimates to retake the point. And I think what I found very interesting from all of that is just no one was letting up on the ults. And we're coming into downtown, and you know, some teams would run the standard like 6-man in this area. Some people might run Brawl or a ball comp, and it looks like Storybook Heroes is going for the tried and tested 6-man on this map. Oreo Fleet is opting to also go for that mirror. So we're going to see who's going to take control of this first Mega Health Pack, because that sets the tempo of who's playing in what area.
Storybook Heroes get the health pack first, but Alley Cat goes a little too far, and Blinded ends up picking off that Lucio fast here for Storybook Heroes. Now they won't be able to have that speed boost, and already Oreo Fleet seeing the concept, being able to take advantage of that right now. Storybook Heroes have to retreat, and Oreo Fleet convincingly being able to get this first fight, despite the fact Storybook Heroes had that health pack advantage.
Yeah, I think that's just really good capitalization from Oreo Fleet to push back in when Storybook Heroes lost their Lucio, because you really need that Lucio to disengage. And Storybook Heroes is attempting to take this back in with the Coalescence of Q.
And Q's Coalescence start pushing in with Storybook Heroes. Blinded is hacked on that Reaper, not able to get any sort of follow-up, however, as now the Coalescence comes out from Esme. Uncle OC Man finds the kill onto Dottie, and now Storybook Heroes start falling one by one. The Blossom invested, and the cleanup is there. Oreo Fleet get the team kill to be able to keep this point in their control.
So, I will be honest, I think a bunch of ults were used there that weren't as necessary. The bomb, the blossom, and the coal. There were too many ults used on the side of Oreo fleet that I wonder if that's going to bite them in the ass, considering Storybook Heroes is coming in with an EMP and, you know, 2 tank ults, which they could use to make space and force out a beat from Mr. Oreo Man once he builds it.
You see Concept there on the high ground, translocates right out at the Primal Rage is invested here from Genji Man. Tries to pull off a little bit of similar strategy to a former Winston player in Discord tier. You already see Storybook Heroes making their way in. Oh, but Water dies immediately to Blinded. That's going to be bad. The EMP no longer online here, but still Storybook Heroes willing to invest into this. The beat invested here from Mr. Oreo Man. Concept is back on the Sombra, hacks out Davion, but here comes the Blossom from Dottie. Doesn't get anything. Blinded able to get the return kill, but Q has his Coalescence, and now the tanks for Storybook Heroes starting to show up in the kill feed. Davion and Genji Man getting 2 in this fight thus far. Make that a 3rd for Genji Main. And now Storybook Heroes getting the kills they need with not a lot of ults used. They're going to be able to take the point here on Busan downtown.
Honestly, I'm very proud of Storybook Heroes for at least being conservative with ults they were using. They're back up now to the 2 tank ults that I said they would have in that first engage with Water's EMP. But they have to be careful that there's an EMP Blossom combo coming from the side of Oreo Fleet, which is a very clean way to team wipe Storybook Heroes if they aren't careful.
Ooh, a 4-man EMP coming out there from Water. 4 people caught in the side of Oreo Fleet, and Blinded was the first to fall immediately. The bomb was used by Davion to try and get the remake kill, and Genji Main just wants to go in, but they get hacked by Concept here. It's going to be a little bit hard, but barely Davion is there to be able to protect them. Now the EMP comes out here from Concept. It's a 5-man EMP. The bomb from Geomancer eliminates Water, and now the fight is turning in the favor of Oreo Fleet. Blinded able to get that kill onto Davion's mech, and the rest of Oreo Fleet just piling right on top of Storybook Heroes. They'll be able to claim this point back with 42% taken by Storybook Heroes.
That was a really, I guess that's a really good re-engage with the EMP from Concept in order to create space for Oreo Fleet to push back, especially when Storybook Heroes tried to be the aggressor by using Water's EMP with a bomb from Davion. But the combo didn't really work as well from them, and Dottie is out here with a high noon in order to retake point for Storybook Heroes.
Yeah, but they're able to find Esme with that Deadeye as well. Dottie gets that critical kill onto the Moira. That means most of the heals for the side of Oreo Fleet no longer there. Storybook Heroes just going to cleanly take this point back into their favor.
Very conservative. That's a conservative use of ultimates on the side of Storybook Heroes, but they don't have anything to deal with this incoming Blossom from Blinded, and they're only 70% to Lucio beat, so they need their Lucio needs to be on heals just to build that up for the team. And there's so many ways that I was gonna say Oreo Fleet could engage with like Blinded's Blossom, which gets stunned out by Dottie.
Good play there by Dottie. Gets picked out by Geomancer, but already the damage has been done. But still, Oreo Fleet starting to push in here. The 4-man EMP, however, comes out from Water. The rest of the 4 members on the side of Oreo Fleet are caught. There goes Geomancer losing their mech to Davion's bomb here as Oreo Fleet try to push in, but the Coalescence from Esme gets killed out by Davion. Oreo Fleet starting to stutter a little bit as Davion on the D.Va has gotten 3 kills in this fight thus far, trying to make it a 4th here on the Blinded, and the rest of Storybook Heroes just cleaning up the fight. 92% here for the side of Storybook as Oreo Fleet need to think about their next strategy.
It looks like Storybook Heroes might be the heroes of this match if, that's a win.
Uglo C-Man just went straight to the point. He was late for his train, but couldn't catch it in time. Able to get the kill onto Dottie, however, as Storybook Heroes trying to keep the defense here. It's 99% here for Storybook now, but they have to be careful because it's also 99% for Oreo Fleet. But Oreo Fleet just falling at the seams one by one. Geomancer unable to get that bomb off, and another Primal Rage is built out here from Genji Main on that Winston. And just like that, Storybook Heroes cleaning up the rest of the fight. They're going to be taking the win here on Busan.
Yep. And Storybook Heroes just continuing the story that they've established through their elimination pool. Taking that momentum of those wins from their LM pool run, they're taking the first map from Oreo Fleet. Honestly, these fights have been looking very scrappy and messy, and honestly, it's hard to like put into words how they're deciding which ults to use or when's the best time to ult. It seems like each individual is just using an ult when they see there's an opening without actually coordinating with it. But maybe it's the target calling or something, but like Storybook Heroes manages to take it away even with all these ults flying in the air left and right.
Yeah, definitely. Storybook Heroes showing that sort of mechanical skill and that sort of prowess of being able to deal with these most important ults. Oreo Fleet a little stepping over their game with those ultimates might have contributed a little bit to their loss of that map, but still close either way from both of these teams, and this could probably be the story of the night here. Both of these teams playing it very close. It's going to be interesting to see as we're heading over to our next map, which is the fabled 2CP that hopefully we will no longer need to see in the next 6 months. It's going to be interesting to see. This is Oreo Fleet's map choice. Since they lost this map, they get to choose the 2CP map. Which one do you think they would want to go to here, Thea?
So, if we're trying to tap into the fact that Blinded is a really good hit scan player, you would go for something along the lines of maybe Temple of Anubis or Volskaya. But if the team is just very more comfortable in something like a Brawl, you'll see them going to Hanamura. And I think as I predicted, it seems like Oreo Fleet is opting to go for Anubis, if I am to read the match chat correctly.
Yes. And also they've chosen Anubis in the game this time. They've not chosen Oasis or Lijiang Tower in the game. So hopefully that will be the last time we hear from these weird map picks that aren't in the map pool and they just choose because they're set to the lobby settings, or people keep telling them what the wrong map pools are. Either way, it's gonna be interesting to see what the strategy is from Storybook Heroes from Oreo Fleet coming in to Anubis. Obviously, you said that Blinded has a lot of mechanical skill, is really good on that Widowmaker potentially, so this is probably playing into that favor, but on the other hand, they could also be playing a different double shield strategy. It could play into their favor. It'll be interesting to see what they run and how Storybook Heroes is able to counter it.
You know, when you were saying, like, talking about, like, map pool and, like, actually picking a map that's in a map pool, I was going to say, what if they ended up picking Horizon Lunar Colony? I know there's a tournament that actually had Horizon on their map pool for Assault, and it was hilarious trying to scrim for that tournament, by the way, because who prepares for Horizon, right? But yeah, we're going into Temple of Anubis, and this is Oreo Fleet's map pick, and they will be attacking first, and with Storybook Heroes defending. Oh, this is interesting. I'm not sure if Oreo Fleet is actually going to run this tank line, but if they are planning to run it, it would be interesting to see how they plan to execute it. Because you have Storybook Heroes running a double shield with an Ash Torb and a Brigitte. They're probably expecting a dive from the side of Oreo Fleet, which is probably why Alicat is on the Brigitte. But normally if you were running an Ash, there would usually be like a Mercy pocket, so the Brig is probably in that assumption that there's going to be a monkey on the side of Oreo Fleet, but they will be sorely disappointed because Oreo Fleet is also running a double shield with a Genji Widow DPS line. So same tank and support line, but the DPS lines are just way different.
Yeah, definitely. Really interesting to see this composition from Oreo Fleet, wanting to play this double shield bunker, but want to have that DPS pressure. Meanwhile, Storybook Heroes want to have that dive counter, so we'll see which team is able to take advantage. Oreo Fleet looked like they want to try to go through this right path, but Dottie finds the headshot on the Blinded. Pretty much blinds that Widowmaker back into spawn right now here for Storybook Heroes. You see Oreo Fleet, they have rotated up to this top right high ground. They're trying to take advantage here onto the point, so we'll see if they're able to do that. Looks like they might want to try to drop down here eventually. Right now, it's just a poking game right now for them versus Storybook Heroes.
I honestly think they're waiting for Geomancer and Blinded to take things from an off angle in order to actually pressure the Storybook Heroes who are clustered into one side of the point. Because once that happens, this point is going to be in the favor of the formation of Oreo Fleet.
Ooh, and a big pick coming out from Esme, able to get that first kill onto Davion here. Storybook Heroes missing their Sigma here could be very crucial. Genji Bane also falling extremely low on that Orisa, just trying to stay alive for as much as possible. Dottie gets another kill onto Blinded, but already you see Concept starting to cut everybody up. It's a sushi fest in here, and the Genji's making sure that the rest of Storybook Heroes will be cut, sliced, and diced. And that's going to be the first point for Oreo Fleet.
Yeah. I was, I was wondering how this composition on the side of Oreo Fleet will work, but they did show what their idea is or what the plan is, and that really is just taking multiple angles to force Storybook heroes into a certain spot of the map and pressure them out in their resources. And now they're coming into the second point with a 5-minute time bank and 4 ults, one of them rally, which I was assuming they were going to use, but they're going to use Flux to open things out first.
Yes, to remove that immortality field, so Concept can get a 3k blade to start off his fight, gets killed by water in the aftermath, but the damage is done. Oreo Fleet start making their way to the point thanks to that blade from Concept, and now all that's left is the rest of Storybook just trying to touch the point. Q is first to touch, Davion gets booped off, but still, Storybook just barely able to defend this with 94% taken here by the side of Oreo Fleet. Genji Main gets the kill on the blinded with the charge, and right now Oreo Fleet trying to keep themselves alive in this, but this is 2 CP. Anything can happen. The point can be stalled out for as long as possible, as long as you're just able to keep the sustainability. And that rally coming out from Alleycat will probably be able to do exactly that here for Storybook Heroes. Water tries to go to the back line. He gets bashed out there by Mr. Oreo Man. He gets killed immediately. Storybook Heroes need to try and find some sort of sustainability, and they're starting to lose that sustainability here when it matters the most. Just like that, Oreo Fleet cleaning up the picks that they need. The window invested here from the side of Q, but right now it's looking all rough here for the side of Storybook Heroes.
Yeah, ults being invested by the side of Oreo Fleet, knowing that they can clean this up. They have around 2% left to cap, and here they managed to do it. From a 5-minute time back, it took them a minute to take second point, and they have a very healthy 3-minute 53-second time bank. And honestly, I wasn't expecting it from the DPS line, the DPS heroes that they had initially selected, but I guess the brawl potential that came with the rally of Mr. Oreo Man, and also I guess Concept also having the armor from it while he's blading, really opened things up for Oreo Fleet, which is like a good call for them. Honestly, it really looked like how you would normally play 2 CP, wherein you really have to invest in ults just to take a point, and Oreo Fleet did it by investing 4 at the start, and it got them the point over time. And I mean, Geomancer actually got another Flux through all of it, so I think that's what's actually interesting. Now it's the time for Storybook Heroes to attack, and they're opting for a double bubble setup with a Genji Tracer DPS line. So I'm probably expecting the Genji and the Tracer to really just dive with this Winston and to force resources out from Oreo Fleet's from Oreo Fleet's players, and Oreo Fleet's going for a Orisa Diva tank line, and the pokiness of a Genji and Hanzo. It's a good thing Mr. Oreo Man is still on the Brigade, because there's a monkey on the side of Storybook Heroes, and that is definitely needed to create space.
And the dive comes in here from Storybook Heroes immediately with this doubles bubble composition. Dottie tries to get a lot of pressure there on the Genji. Not able to get too much, but it's just a waiting game for Storybook. Find that sort of perfect opportunity with the dive here. Try to find the perfect dives. Unable to get thus far. Oh, and Water's getting very poked out there from the Diva of Geomancer. Will get picked out in the aftermath too. So Storybook already down one of their most essential tools heading into this fight. But still, you have the Saria of Davion who could do a lot of pressure. But right now, it's just a waiting game, and Storybook Heroes are going to be waiting a lot.
There seems to be a mismatch between Davion and Genji main on how to use the bubbles, because I was looking for a brief moment at Davion's screen, and they only had around 20% ult charge for Zarya. And ideally, how you should be playing a double bubble composition is you're trying to build energy for your Zarya in order for them to just brawl it against this tankier setup that Oreo Fleet has. And they're going to try again with another soft dive from Genji main in order to build not just nano, but the energy charge for Davion.
It looks like Storybook Heroes also want to take this right side approach. Window comes out here from Esme, trying to separate them, and it actually does do that. Alleycat separated on the lower platform, gets picked out there by Uncle's OC Man, and now the rest of Oreo Fleet getting the supports here for the side of Storybook Heroes. They lose Concept, but when you pick up both supports of the enemy team when they're trying to make the push, I'd say that's a reasonable compromise.
So that's a bomb into the tiny room, hoping to get some value, and it does get Dottie in the process. There's no supports in the room. There's nothing really to sustain Storybook heroes up there until their supports get there.
Absolutely, and another big shot there from Blind against the kill in the water. That's going to have to be a reset here for Storybook Heroes. Genji main's still stuck in that mega room. I honestly, if I were him, I would just try to get out of there as quickly as possible. Almost gets the kill on the concept, but the support is there, and now the rest of the Oreo fleet there to protect their Genji. Actually forces Genji main to use the Primal Rage here. That could be consequential here for Storybook Heroes, already down one of your massive ults.
Yeah, but it does create space for Dottie to pop this blade, and it is a nano. Is that a nano blade? It is a nano blade. So we don't see this often in Tranquility, and it manages to create an opening for Storybook Heroes to push. Maybe the primal from Genji main was a good play because it forced out resources from Oreo fleet because they saw a big primaling monkey.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like that, Storybook Heroes, with the help of that Nanoblade from Dottie, they will be able to get the first point here on Temple of Anubis. A minute left in their time bank. But interesting to note, Thea, look in the side of Oreo Fleet and see that they're starting to make some changes.
Oh yeah, they're just going for a hard brawl now, keeping Concept on the Genji, probably because he does have Blade. And that's something that could easily dive into supports. But Storybook Heroes has a rally from Alicat, and that's a good way to engage, especially with Davion having a grab and might actually be on high charge. So if Storybook Heroes play this right and quickly, actually honestly they're just decisive on what they want to do and where they're going to go, I think they could, like, well, ideally they should have snowballed it by now, but I wonder what's taking them a while.
Probably just trying to set up a sort of weird engage here with that Zarya bubble. Z-Water also has this Pulse Bomb, so they probably want to try to use these two in succession here. Grab comes out here from Davion, gets a few into it. The Pulse Bomb comes out, unable to get any kills, but still, kills are going back and forth here. And Alicat kills that Blade coming out from Concept. Again, back and forth, but in the end of it all, it looks like you might be seeing Oreo Fleet win this because A, it's 2 CP, and B, Storybook Heroes only are 2 people. This is Winston from Genji main, and then the Brigitte from Alicat. So they're going to be retreating, and it looks like you're going to be seeing a reset here from the side of Storybook Heroes. But Davion switching to the ball, that questionable move.
I think there was an attempt to, I guess, snowball that and push forward because Q was actually still with Alicat and Genji main, and they had Nano. Honestly, if Genji main was in Q's LOS, they could have snowballed that with like a Nano. But now that they're just like staggering themselves, Oreo Fleet has taken the time to just push up, force out resources, and use ults against Storybook Heroes. Like, and now you have a D-Mech on Davion, and they're probably just gonna leave it alone. So Davion is forced to either forego a bomb that they already have or just stagger kill, as is this case. So coming up for the next fight, Q is still holding that Nano, and he'll likely pop it on either Water, who's on Doom for that extra punch, or maybe Genji main as he's entering. But they have to be careful because Uncle OC main has also a Shatter, and that could be a lot of disaster if Genji main doesn't block this.
Yeah, it's all to Genji main here to determine if this fight is going to be winnable or not for Storybook Heroes. They make the way into the left room. Water gets hit by the Shatter, but still, it's a block there from Genji main. Bomb comes out from Geomancer. It catches Q, but still, the fight is going in favor here for the side of Storybook Heroes until Water dies to Mr. Oreo Man. But now both supports are dead here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Does Storybook Heroes invest into this? Probably not. Davion's already dead, and now they're starting to charge right into it, but already you see that the resources already expended a little bit here from the side of Storybook Heroes. They're going to have to reset here, and all they have is a minute left in the time bank.
You know, coming up for the next fight, Storybook Heroes is still holding on to that Nano, and it makes you wonder what is going through Q's thought process in holding on to this Nano for so long. They could have swapped to Baptiste way earlier, which would have helped with the more brawlier setup that's been done, but they do force out the lamp from Oreo Fleet, which would be a great opening for this incoming Nano by Q.
Good notice there from Davion to notice that Blinded was in the backline with that Deadeye. Unfortunately, it cost Q their life once again. Storybook Heroes down 2, but they still want to try to engage into this point, but already you see the fix once again going in favor here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Meteor Strike will finish off Alicat. Now all left is 30 seconds here for the side of Storybook Heroes to try and make this final push. And Q has switched over to the Baptiste. A little bit too late though, Thea.
Yep. you do have Storybook Heroes coming in with a bomb and a high noon. These are all zoning ults, and they do have time to just speed through this. They have to brute force their way through this, especially with Oreo Fleet, pushing back up. Hopefully Alicat is able to get a touch because there's only 6 seconds left on the time bound.
Oh, and there's the shatter coming out from Uncle OC, man. Gets a few on the ground, but Storybook Heroes barely able to touch the point. The Doom Fist of Concept tries to go in the back line, but Dottie notices. And now Storybook Heroes just trying to clean up the fight, bring themselves into this fight once again. Genji Man gets the kill on Uncle OC, man. So far, it's winnable here for Storybook Heroes as they try to clean up the rest of these picks here from the side of Oreo Fleet. Blinded, however, finds the kill in the water, and now all of a sudden, Blinded Concept bringing it back here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Dottie able to get the kill on the Blinded, but it might be too little too late as the rest of Oreo Fleet is there to be able to defend this point cleanly. Beautiful job there from the DPS of Oreo Fleet to bring Oreo Fleet to win the second map. We're going tie series heading into halftime.
Yep, 1-1 both sides, and Oreo Fleet just showing that they picked a map that really went in their favor. Getting value from that, from the long sidelines of Anubis, and here we have the Brigade of Oreo Fleet actually doing a lot of work. Actually, I think that was from their first push on the second point that got them so much value. And that's honestly, I guess, maybe a kind of textbook way of showing what a snowball is. But nevertheless, good job, Oreo Fleet, taking a map from Storybook Heroes, making this a 1-1 series. Are we expecting a map 5 here, Bowsy? What do you think?
There is obviously the potential for a map 5. Both of these teams, obviously. I mean, Oreo Fleet in stage number 2 had a long history of map number 5s. They've had a history of map number 5s here before. So don't be surprised if we head to a map 5 after halftime. Will Storybook Heroes be able to have a happy ever after in this series? Or will Oreo Fleet be sailing into the next round of the knockout bracket? We'll see you guys after halftime to determine the winner of this series.
Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Situation. We don't spend time hesitating. And I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. You just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable, let's go. Feel so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Slow it down. Jeans on when we hit the town. We don't really care who's around. But baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. You just feel it all too. You're just so comfortable.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tranquility Gaming Season 8 Knockout Bracket coverage. If you've missed the match thus far, you've missed an absolutely quirky but also close match between Storybook Heroes and Oreo Fleet to determine who's moving on through the knockout bracket. Bowsy here with Thor Umea, and we're heading into our third map here, Thea. Storybook Heroes have elected to choose Eichenwald for our hybrid map.
You know, I think it's very fitting for their team name. You know, Storybook Heroes, Eichenwald's in Germany. There's a lot of very interesting German, I guess, stories that come out from like German child's tales. So I think it's such a fitting place for Storybook Heroes to go to. But I honestly think they're just picking Eichenwald so that they can run their Brawl comps, because it seems like they're very comfortable playing Brawl more than other types of compositions. Are you okay, Bowsy?
I'll be okay.
You okay?
A little bit of cough in my throat because I'm not used to not seeing King's Row as the hybrid choice, but still, that definitely could be the case here. They could be definitely running it so they can have that brawl advantage here. So it'd be interesting to see which of these two teams will be able to take advantage of the composition, though. Because Eichenwald, while it does have that brawl connotation, it can also have a lot of different styles on the map. So it could lend itself to a lot of different styles. Double shield is an option. Dive is an option. You don't have to specifically play the brawl. And it's interesting to see which of these teams, what these teams are already coming out with Storybook Heroes on the defense, not running that brawl competition.
Well, it seems that they're opting to run a double shield with a cast Pharah. So what I find interesting is this Ana pick along with the two tanks. Normally you'd have a Baptiste to fill that space rather than, you know, an Ana. But something to note of, there has been a player swap, I think, on the side of Oreo Fleet from, I think they now have Orange Juice in. Not sure if that's a player or someone else's alt account, but they're going to be playing Double Bubble with an Ashe Genji this time. I think they're relying on Concept's Genji to create these openings because it has been giving them value.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Concept's Genji does in order to allow Oreo Fleet to push in here. Orange Juice makes that first leap into the front line here for Storybook Heroes, and you already see they're prepared for it with that Cassidy of Dottie just pumping damage into that Winston. Right now, Storybook Heroes, they're wanting to make use of this of Water's Fart. They have this high ground advantage. They have that rocket pumping down, but Water has to be careful about that Ashe from Blinded that can snipe him out of the sky really quickly if he's not careful. Right now, again, just a waiting game here for the side of Oreo Fleet, waiting for that perfect opportunity, and the nano boost coming out from Esme, but Orange Juice gets slept up, but is still able to keep going, gets slept up again, having a rough time here, but still, the follow-up is there from Oreo Fleet. 4 kills going in favor of Oreo Fleet, and they're going to be able to clean up this fight quickly and effectively to get the first point here on Eichenwald.
You know, I think what I found pretty interesting with how Oreo Fleet was staging that dive of theirs was that Orange Juice was supposed to die when he really went in super deep in that one jump, and I think he did hit 2 digits for health, but as he was backing out, Concept comes in with that peel. Rarely do you see a Genji peel for their tank with a deflect, but I think given that what Storybook Heroes is running, it made sense. And Orange Juice attempts to make a jump on high ground to maybe build ult charge for Esme, but gets burnt down way too quickly by the tanks of Storybook Heroes. Storybook Heroes has this control of the high ground, which is very crucial in Eichenwald. So I want to see how Oreo Fleet decides to take this, given that in terms of verticality, we only have 2 heroes who can actually go up there with their mobility, which is like the Monkey and your Genji. Everyone else has to pass through Castle, and with the amount of spam coming in from Water's Pharah and the poke of the 2 tanks and Dottie, this is going to be a bit of a struggle for the core of Oreo Fleet.
Ooh, and definitely when Water gets the 4K barrage onto the members of the side of Oreo Fleet. Orange Juice uses that Primal Rage. Little bit too late. Won't be able to get any value with that, but that is going to be an easy one fight for Storybook Heroes. Beautiful setup there from Genji Man and Water.
In the process of all that, though, Oreo Fleet did use the Primal of Orange Juice, but it looks like there's a 1:1 trade for ults, but ult advantage on the side of Storybook Heroes, so they could pop any of these to deal with this Monkey, but I don't know if they have.
Ooh. Well, you know what they
Those are
don't
good
have?
trades.
Yep, they don't have a Genji blading. Dottie able to shoot that Genji straight out of the sky as he went for water. But it looks like you're going to be seeing eventually here that Storybook Heroes will get another hold here. Already about a minute or two burned off the clock here for the side of Oreo Fleet. They need to try to come up with some answers here.
Honestly, though, I think Oreo Fleet is willing to take that. They only burned 2 ults in order to force out 4 from the side of Storybook Heroes because they did come in with that nano, and now there's that rally from Mr. Oreo Man, which provides all that bulky armor for Oreo Fleet to try and contest this higher ground from Storybook Heroes while the Genji pushes the card.
Orange Juice dives in. The drum is used here from Genji Man. Blinded's already found the first pick onto Q. Dottie, however, gets that return kill onto Concept, and the Bob is invested here from Blinded as well. Blinded trying to bring back this fight into the favor here for Oreo Fleet. It looks like it's going to work in the aftermath. The rest of Storybook Heroes falling one by one. All that's left is Water and Alley Cat. Just like that, it's going to be a push here for the side of Oreo Fleet.
Water and Alicat are left on high ground. I hope, they let themselves get found out because they do have that barrage, and that would have been such a good opening if they just been a bit more patient. Oh, there's a pause. I wonder which side has the pause.
Yeah, definitely a unconventional pause, and now we actually do get confirmation. It is the side of Oreo Fleet. They lost one of their support players. It was Mr. Oreo Man.
It was their Brig that had just used, I think, rally for them to get that castle re-engaged. And hey, at least they DC'd after using their ult. I think DCing when you have your ult, I think, is way worse than just DCing after using your ult. And what do we have coming up to this? There's going to be an attempt to retake from the side of Storybook Heroes, using hope maybe the Pharah ult. We'll have to see, but Oreo Fleet, last that I checked the screen, did have a nano on Esme's belt. So maybe they'll just pop it on the monkey to help build ult charge and Jet Primal, because there really isn't anything to stop a nano monkey on the side. That on the side of Storybook Heroes, because they have a Mercy instead of a Brig to just whip shot, to deal with the fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as we're heading back into the series here right now. The DC thankfully coming back, Mr. Oreo Man back in the fight, and also Alley Cat had some issues with cats, but still, there goes the nano boost onto Orange Juice here for the Winston, and already Oreo Fleet starting to clean up. Both supports now dead here for the side of Storybook Heroes, and the fight's really going in their favor. That's 2 kills thus far here for Orange Juice. Make that a 3rd here, trying to finish off the Orisa Genji main. Uses the Primal Rage for good measure. The barrage from Water gets swept out of the sky and gets anti-nated by Esme. And that's going to be a 1-5 for Oreo Fleet. They'll be able to sail themselves into the 2nd point here on Eichenwald.
Well, they are sailing into 3rd point without any ultimates, so they're going to have to build up something to stop this push. On the side of Storybook Heroes, they do have this Flux from Davion, and that is a good ult to create space and deny an additional push from the side of Oreo Fleet, especially if they just aggress a bit more, now that they're all grouped up together. You see Oreo Fleet making some changes to their support line. So now you have your typical Brawl support line in order to support the Rhine that Orange Juice changed into, and Concept has forgone the 75% to play for a Junkrat for the additional spam.
Ooh, Blinded stuns out the Stigma of Davion when he was trying to use the Flux. That is big here, and Q gets picked off as well. Dottie able to get the return kill onto both DPS with the headshots. Trying to turn it around here for Storybook Heroes, but that bomb for Geomancer eliminates Alley Cat. Now there's no support left here for the side of Storybook Heroes. The bomb is invested here just for stall, but at the end of the day, Storybook Heroes is going to have to reset, and that's going to be a 1 fight here for Oreo Fleet.
Oreo Fleet manages to just burn that Bob because there is no support for that Bob that Dottie threw in. It seemed like a Bob just really to stall point, but not really something to help them regain time and sustain. So both windows are popped from both sides, and it looks like there's an all-out brawl, a shatter from Orange Juice. It gets
3 on the ground.
Right, and wow, that's a pin.
Big charge coming out from Orange Juice to be able to eliminate Genji main here. Oreo Fleet start pushing themselves through. Mr. Oreo Man finishes off that kill on the Davion. The Blizzard will be invested here from Water, but he won't be able to see the life of it. He gets dried up immediately from Oreo Fleet. The kills all going in favor here for the side of Oreo Fleet. Dottie tries to get the kill on the Concept. Will be able to. Right now, it's just a stall game here for Storybook Heroes. They need to try to stay alive as much as possible. But Esme making clean work on this Baptiste, getting 2 kills in this fight thus far, trying to make it a third here from the side of Oreo Fleet as they're just cleaning up the rest of the field. Oreo Fleet look like they'll be able to bring this into the final point here of Eichenwald very cleanly and effectively with over a minute in the time make here, Thea. And that's not good if you're a Storybook Heroes fan.
No, it is not, considering how Eichenwald as a map is already hard to complete to begin with. A lot of teams do get stuck at that second point of Eichenwald, especially at the bridge portion. And you know, the fact that Oreo Fleet was able to complete it is already astounding in itself. So Storybook Heroes has to really dig their heels into the ground and figure out how they're going to complete Eichenwald with the same or even better time bank. Hopefully with time, because if they're unable to complete this with time, if they complete Eichenwald without time, it's gonna be just a draw or a loss for them at that rate. So it looks like on the side of Storybook Heroes, they are going for that brawl. I'm not sure if the Widow pick from Dottie is intentional, but maybe it's just to troll us. I'm not sure, because I usually expect like a Cassidy with this, but maybe I could be wrong. How they're going to do it is, you know, it's 5 of them play as a core. Dottie just waits behind a bit and takes like a flank angle to get picks off. Well, on the side of Oreo Fleet, they do have that double shield that they also showed on Anubis attack. Except this time you have a Torb from Concept and blinded on a Hanzo.
Ooh, Dottie tried to get that first pick off here for Storybook Heroes. Just barely misses it there on the blinded. But Storybook Heroes still wanted to push forward with this brawl composition. Go immediately to the left side. Try to make that sort of rotation here. That's invest the lamp this early here from Q. That's not good here for Storybook. They're going to have a little bit of trouble trying to push in here, as Oreo Fleet just trying to pick them out when they need it the most. Now the brawl comes in. They have that Genji here from Dottie. Still, they're pushing in with the brawl composition right onto the Orisa here of Orange Juice, trying to push the enemy team back, and Dottie's able to get that first kill onto Blinded here. So now main DPS power for the side of Oreo Fleet, no longer in the fight here. And you see the pressure coming in. Mr. Oreo Man gets separated. Davion able to finish it off with Dottie. And Dottie gets another one now onto Esme. Storybook Heroes making this brawl style with a Genji work into their favor. They're going to be able to claim this first point quickly here, Thea.
I think I can give you like a guess on like why that didn't work out as cleanly for Oreo Fleet. Yes, they were playing the double shield, but they were playing it in a stacked manner. So you're not really exploiting the, I guess, like the benefits of playing double shield, which was having poke from multiple angles against like one Ryan shield. Like they even broke Orange Juice's Genji main's Ryan shield, and it didn't do much. But now they're reaggressing with Concept's Torb ult, and it does give them the space they need to like slightly stop this aggression from the side of Storybook Heroes.
Storybook Heroes also used a Shadow from Genji main, trying to stun out the Flux from Geomancer that was used here. And already see Davion diving to the backline. Esme gets picked off thanks to Dottie as well. But now Storybook Heroes, they gave up the card a little bit, but you see now that they're trying to push back in. Mr. Oreo Man dies, and now it's just going to be a cleanup here for the side of Storybook Heroes, pushing this cart very quickly here through this bridge phase of Eichenwald.
I think the Genji pick initially from Dottie at that start was really helpful, because they knew Oreo Fleet was running double shield. That's a lot of spam. Your deflect from Genji gets a lot of value because of that incoming spam. So I think, and you know, just being able to flank and like get those poke picks from the back. And I'm not sure if Oreo Fleet's going to readdress. It looks like they are.
Oh, but already Dottie got 2 with the blade. Make that 3 with the blade here for Dottie. We're seeing a record of Dragon Blade kills in this series thus far. And Storybook Heroes being able to use that Dragon Blade to their advantage. They're going to be able to take the second point here on Eichenwald. And they have 5 minutes to try and get to the end.
That is a way heftier time bank than Oreo Fleet's time bank.
Yep.
They are making huge progress with this brawl composition that they're running. Just goes to show that I think Genji May is just really more comfortable playing the Reinhardt, and so are his other teammates. Genji's getting value, and there's a Blizzard incoming from Water. He's trying to find an opening to use it.
Yep, he finds it right there. Genji main sacrifices their life for it, but still the kills are going in favor here for the side of Storybook Heroes. Dottie doing a lot of work on this Genji. That's 3. Make that 4 for this fight so far for Dottie. Davion gets the kill on the blinded, denies that 6k potential, but still, Dottie making work done here on this Genji here for Storybook Heroes.
And he's back to having Blade after just that one fight. He had just used Blade to open up third point for the team. And now he's back to the Blade, and I don't think Oreo Fleet's ready for this, but they might with this High Noon.
Blinded uses the High Noon to separate Davion. The bomb has to be used in order for the remake advantage, but here comes the Blade coming out from Dottie. Immortality Field is there from Esme, as well as the beat for Mr. Oreo Man. Genji main ends up dying to Concept, who switched over to the Symmetra for the sustain, and there's the Shadow from Orange Juice, knocking Davion to the ground. Looks like Oreo Fleet finally be able to get some stabilization here, but already you see that meterage, only 3 meters held here, barely at the end, and Storybook Heroes still have 4 minutes in the bank.
You know, that's 4 minutes. I'm expecting swaps from the DPS line. Oh no, Dottie's thinking of staying on the Genji. See, I would be worried for... Oh, there's the swap to an Ashe. I was worried if Dottie had stayed on the Genji, considering there's a Symmetra on this from Concept. You cannot deflect a beam. You cannot deflect a beam from Zarya. And oh, they managed to get a pick from Orange Juice right away. That's a huge opening for them. Both tanks are down from Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, big wall coming out from Water to eliminate Orange Juice here. So now Storybook Heroes start making their advance quickly here. They have this Blizzard as well from Water to try and separate the rest of the point here. Storybook Heroes pushing in. Here comes the Blizzard coming out from Water as the rest of the Oreo Fleet... falling one by one. I get choked up again because I'm not used to seeing Dottie get so many kills on this Ashe thus far. Storybook Heroes push it all the way in. 3 minutes and 11 seconds in their time bank.
You know, I'm starting to understand at least how these two teams are planning to play based on their DPS line, the DPS heroes that they pick. You'll always see them play standard pairings, at least for their tanks and support line, but their DPS line is what varies through each of these maps, and the DPS line is, it seems like they swap to counter what the other side is running, more than to play for how, you know, a specific comp is designed in terms of macro. So now it's Oreo Fleet's first to attack because they have a way smaller time bank. I think their time bank is just half of what Storybook Heroes has, and it looks like both sides are opting to actually go for a standardized brawl today. Maybe they might have learned something from that previous push, that previous Eichenwald push, but here you can see that they're planning to stick to this brawl, especially I think for the side of Storybook Heroes, who had gotten huge value from playing brawl, if the 3-minute time bank is any indication. If I'm no Oreo Fleet, what I think they're going to do some really sneaky wall shenanigans. Maybe. Or not. They're not going to do the funny. That's good.
It seemed like they tried to, but it might have been a misclick there from Concept. They were like, oh, if you don't hit it here, then we're not going to try to do it. So Oreo Fleet now going to be taking this left side approach, but they easily can use this TP to just bait straight into the backline here and allow Blinded to get that, or just use it as a bait. Have the Reinhardt go through, have the Symmetra still beam through the front line, and Genji main already gets falling very low, force out that Immortality field here from Q. As Storybook Heroes need to try and retreat a little bit and look for the perfect opportunity. Concept able to get that kill on the Genji man as well, but Davion gets the return kill on the Blinded, so it's back and forth here. Oreo Fleet, however, they have sustained on this point, and Water gets picked out from Orange Juice as well. Oreo Fleet having a little bit of trouble here, and it looks, Storybook having a little bit of trouble, and it looks like Oreo Fleet will be able to clean this up effectively. Dottie gets that kill into Mr. Oreo Man, but it's not going to be enough. Storybook Heroes will have to wait another day.
Dottie has built to this high noon. I honestly think that Storybook Heroes should just regroup, give this point to Oreo Fleet, and just take the high ground, and, you know, force Oreo Fleet to play in that open area in front of that high noon from Dottie, because nothing's really going to stop it except maybe like a right click from Concept, if you can land all those headshots on Dottie before he dies. Or maybe like from Geomancer just pressuring Dottie on with the high noon. But we'll see how this goes, considering Orange Juice has this shatter.
Geomancer is also close to this bomb as well, so you want to watch out for that. The drop comes down here from Storybook Heroes. They drop down from the high ground to be able to contest the low ground. Window comes down here from Q. Shatter comes out from Orange Juice, unable to get anybody on the ground, but that Blizzard from Concept is massive. It gets 3 targets, including both of the tanks. The bomb from Dottie doesn't... No, the bomb from Geomancer, excuse me, gets the kill into Alley Cat here as Oreo Fleet clean up the fight and continue pushing this card. This is not what you want to see for Storybook Heroes, but they are building up those ults.
Yep, they're going to have a bomb. That's a good space denial for them. Oh, but they lose Q in the process. They're going to be up for their Blizzard also if they can get Geomancer out of the mech. Oh god, Concept is just right-clicking these people off of the face of the earth. Honestly, regroup. Hard regroup on the side of Storybook Heroes. They have like one last push until this end. Hopefully they know that they should be splitting doors.
They try to go out. The wall is there from the side of Concept. The bomb comes out from Davian, gets the kill into Esme. That's the first kill here for the side of Storybook Heroes, trying to bring themselves into favor. Blizzard's also used from water, gets the kill into Blinded immediately, tries to get rid of that Symmetra as the wall is there. The bleed comes out from Alley Cat as well, as Storybook Heroes start cleaning up the fight as much as possible. Dottie now back on this signature Genji, being able to get the kills needed, and just like that, it looks like Storybook Heroes will be able to hold the card here right outside of the gates to the castle. Nobody is breaking into this castle here today, says Storybook.
They, Oreo Fleet broke in once. They're not gonna break in a second time. And, you know, with the hefty time bank of 3 minutes on the side of Storybook Heroes, they do have the time to reach the point where they stopped Oreo Fleet from capping. And I think this is winnable for Storybook Heroes. I think the best way that they can win this is just really being able to play together and just knowing when to pop ults, not really just popping them for the sake of popping them, right?
Ready for battle.
So I think Dottie's going to try again for that Widow grapple pick. Maybe it gets value this time because the first time he did it, he actually was very close to the head of the Baptiste for that one, but maybe he's not opting for it anymore because there's a Genji, there seems to be a Genji pick on this side. On the side of Oreo Fleet, they're going for the Sim Mei variant. I think it worked well for them, which is probably why they're still playing it. I wonder how Blinded's going to be setting up the TPs, how he's going to be using them. Whether it's going to be for his team or for himself, because that's how Symmetra is as a hero.
Yep, Dottie coming out on the Genji now, so Storybook Heroes committing to this Genji brawl style here, trying to bring themselves into the favor here as they start making their way through the gates, bringing themselves into the next point here, trying to find that perfect engage. They see the turrets, and they let out a big sigh, but that's a massive wall coming out from water onto Orange Juice, forced out the Immortality Field early here from Esme, so it's an opportunity here for Storybook Heroes to try and get a good advance, but now both Immortality Fields used from both sides, and Orange Juice gets the Miracle Charge onto water. Dottie tries to go for that flank, doesn't get anything, and loses his life for it, the Geomancer. And Oreo Fleet being able to successfully hold at least one push here from Storybook Heroes.
To the drawing board, and it looks like you're seeing swaps. Dottie going for the Doomfist, knowing that, you know, Doomfist is a really big pick hero. Bigger pick potential than Genji, and I think they're hoping that he could combo things off to get Blinded killed early on, because that's the main source of damage of Oreo Fleet right now.
As they push in here to the point here, Oreo Fleet looking for that engage. The Shatter is there, and it's a 5-man Shatter coming out from Orange Juice. 100% Orange Juice play right there, and that's going to be a one fight here for Oreo Fleet. Already a minute, almost 2 minutes knocked off the clock here for the side of Storybook Heroes.
And that's a really, I guess that's a very cheap fight for Oreo Fleet, because all they had to use for that was the Shatter and maybe Esme's window at the start. But Storybook Heroes is coming up to 3 ults, and you know, Blizzard's going to build along the way. So I hope that Geomancer is hungry and keeps the Mei in check.
Oh, but already Concept gets burnt down by Q with that window. It's already a big pick here coming in favor. Ultimates coming out on all sides. Davion's bomb eliminates the Immortality Field, gets the remake kill into Esme, and it's back and forth. But look, Oreo Fleet are getting some of the more crucial pickoffs. Q is dead. Orange Juice dies to the hands of Davion. It's still a back and forth affair, but all that's left is Alley Cat and water here on this Mei. Davion gets the mech back. Alley Cat trying to get rid of the turrets as well to make sure that the Symmetra has no value. But here comes the Blizzard from Concept, and the rest of Storybook Heroes is frozen right inside of it. Now all of a sudden, this Dottie here on this Doomfist needs to try to find the crucial picks, but will get picked up by Mr. Oreo Man, and Storybook Heroes unable to get the win in this fight. And it's looking desperate now, Thea.
It is looking desperate. You could see Dottie was doing his best to really get that Symmetra at the start. Like, used all his cooldowns together, but like he died within the process. And that's what kept Oreo Fleet's chances alive, especially with the stalls. There was a huge stall from Mr. Oreo Man, and also from Concept, like, keep the point alive before they died. And they're just gonna be coming in with this beat, and this beat could save them and keep this fight alive for them.
Ear Strike comes out from Dottie, unable to get anything, just tries to focus down the Symmetra, and finally gets blinded on that Symmetra. The biggest threat is down. The Shadow comes out from Orange Juice, doesn't land on anything, and the beat is there from Alley Cat to make sure the sustain is there. Blizzard comes out here from the side of Water, being able to freeze up everybody on the side of Oreo Fleet, and this point might just be able to go to Storybook Heroes here, but it is going to be in a very rough overtime scenario here. Storybook Heroes, yep, they will be able to cap this point, but it's going to be either step on the cart or lose this fight and go into match point for the side of Oreo Fleet.
I hope that the story for today is no one steps off of cart, and that we actually rotate ults properly, because they have Storybook Heroes has 3 ults online, and their other 3 ults are barely at 50%. So they need to rotate what they have properly, and they have to be ready that there's a sim wall incoming and these sim turrets.
Window comes out early here from Q to be able to separate the rest of Oreo Fleet, push them into these side areas so that the enemy team can try to take advantage. But you already see the window now is out from Esme, trying to separate the other enemy team. Wall comes out here from Blinded as well. Now the bomb comes out from Davion, trying to split the rest of the team, and it finds Esme. That's a big pick, and Davion gets the remake kill into Geomancer, as Geomancer gets a 2K bomb in the backline. Orange Juice uses the Shatter, gets rid of the rest of the Storybook Heroes, and the Storybook Heroes will be unable to finish out the story here on Eichenwald. Oreo Fleet bring us to match point in the series.
Yep. Third map goes to Oreo Fleet, and that goes to show just, what is the power of grouping up together and pushing for that last fight as a group. Not staggering or anything, and just being patient in waiting for the ults for them to win that fight. Because if you looked at their ult max by then, almost all of them were at like around 70%, 80%. They just really needed to deal a bit more damage in order to get their ults. There was a good attempt by Storybook Heroes to, make some changes and get a win off of Eichenwald. A few mistakes here and there. I think rather than having all 6 of them on the cart right away, like all 6 of them just being on cart, they could have just left one person on cart and, have like everyone else push up, because you want to avoid that Symmetra being able to set up at that archway in the end. And here we have like some replays of what happened in this push, like Dottie just flanking behind that double shield of Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of good plays from both Oreo Fleet and Storybook Heroes. Storybook Heroes having the flashy plays, but Oreo Fleet being able to finish it out when it mattered here. And now comes the interesting question here, Thea. Storybook Heroes, faced in match point. They have to choose our next map, which is an escort map. They have the choices of Rialto, Route 66, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. What do they choose?
See, like, it seems like they're very comfortable on the Brawl, and like these 3 maps don't really play into it as much. If ever, you could actually argue that maybe you could kind of brawl out Rialto a bit if you just play tight rooms and, I guess, corners. Like, don't play in the open spaces, use the rooms to your benefit. But I don't think the Brawl is gonna work for them on Gibraltar. Route 66 may be a bit debatable depending how you rotate, but with a lot of teams who tending to run double shield on Route 66, it may not actually work in their favor to play Rhine. So I think what might end up happening is Storybook Heroes will default to a map that works towards their Orisa comps better, because it seems like that's what they go towards when they're not feeling as comfortable on the Monkey.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they choose. Mr. Oreo brought up the idea of Monte Carlo. Unfortunately, that is not a choice. That is in the Overwatch 2 beta that recently released. But now we have the map choice coming out from the side of Storybook Heroes. Rialto is the map choice, which makes sense. This is a brawl map. This is tight corners. And also, We saw a little bit of water on the Farah. This can also be a very good Farah map if you do it correctly.
Oh, you are correct. I have seen people who just do roof surfing on Rialto's like roofs. I've played with teammates who are like avid Farah players. Shout out to Shady B23 and Azino. Playing with them, like you just know that they love playing Farah. They know how to play it in these kinds of maps. So knowing that Water has played Farah for Storybook Heroes and got huge value with it, like that 4K barrage and icon world, this is playing to their strengths. Now, it puts into question what then are they running for their tank line? Are they just going to be leaving it with a Ryan and then a Baptiste with like no speed, so they really have to play natural cover and corners very quickly because they're not able to speed through things? Or are they going to go for a double shield on attack, right? If that's one way you're thinking of doing an attack with a Farah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the plan of attack is for Storybook Heroes. They will be on the defense first. As I say plan of attack, they'll be on the defense first here when it comes to Rialto. And already looking at the compositions here, Thea, no surprise to see Water on the Farah, but Genji Main on the Wrecking Ball is a new look today.
I have not seen the furry hamster today. This is the first we've seen them for this matchup, and I wonder if this is something they've been practicing at least on Rialto. So for them to pick Rialto, maybe I've heard some people do like playing ball on Rialto. So it would be interesting to see if this is going to work in their favor. And the Farah and Ashe setup allows Alicat to just boost different people as necessary, right? If you lose your Farah early on, you can help pocket your Ashe. If you lose your Farah early on, you can if your Farah dies, like you can just go to your Ashe and vice versa. So who gets the nano from Q? Probably Water. That's how it is. On the side of Oreo Fleet, they're going for a double shield defense, and Blinded right away gets Doddy. I'm expecting a res from Alicat if that case, but it's a double shield, double sniper on the side of Oreo Fleet, and it looks like they are getting lots of value from this.
Yeah, definitely. Water, however, gets that first pick off onto Concept here. It's already a big pick, but Orange Juice finds the return kill onto Genji main, so Storybook Heroes have to be careful. They don't have their main tank in play, but they still have their damage. A big sleep from Q gets on to Blinded, so Blinded won't be able to contribute too much to this fight in the next few seconds here. Now this backup gets Water straight out of the sky. Good night, he says. Go back to spawn where you belong. Oreo Fleet, this Widowmaker Hanzo attack really working into their favor here. As I say that, Dottie gets the kill on the Concept, but Concept finds that Mercy kill as well. So really, it's going to be back and forth, and Blinded's not done. Gets the kill on the Dottie from the side. And it looks like it's going to be a clean fight here for Oreo Fleet to try and take the first point.
Oh yeah, now they're just fighting on the point. This is usually where the brawl aspects start to come, and it's a good place to stop. Water throws out the barrage hoping to get the Baptiste, but you know, Orange Juice had a bongo down. It really doesn't help.
No, it really doesn't. Oreo Fleet just trying to push forward here. Orange Juice has found both of the supports in a small little room here, trying to kill them off one by one. Esme gets the kill on the Genji main as well, and that's going to be the first point going in favor here for the side of Oreo Fleet. This double sniper setup showing to counter Water so much, he switched over to the Hanzo now, Thea.
Yeah, and I think this is a good swap to make and keeping it on the Mercy, because really there is no point to switching to a Brigitte in this setup because there really isn't anything diving your backline, and you know, the boost from the Mercy could help rebuild the ults for this team.
So right now they're trying to set up a sort of engage here on this high ground. Here comes the flux coming out from Geomancer. Only pushes back the members of Storybook Heroes, but they're able to get the kill into Orange Juice in return here. Already a big pick coming out here from Storybook as they start making their advance to the cart here. You see, Genji main contesting the cart there on the low ground, trying to get the mines out here to be able to finish it out here. And they barely get the kill onto Esme as well. So it looks like Storybook Heroes will be able to hold here for the meantime as Mr. Oreo Man just succumbs to the river. You know, wanted a drink.
Mr. Oreo Man just doing what is best and just resetting to regroup with the team. That's not good. Ultra Gen, Blinded gets a cleanup kill as Genji main stays in way too long for his liking, pushing that bridge. So I'm hoping that the two snipers from the side of Storybook Heroes do take this high ground and, you know, pressure out Blinded's Widow because... Oh! This is why we don't stand at doorways.
This is why you always watch your corners. Always check your corners. Always check the crossing of the street. Despite that, Water able to get the kill into Mr. Oreo Man here. So already a big pick coming out in favor of Storybook Heroes. You see, Genji Main back in the fight, trying to contest the cart alongside Davian on that Diva. Right now, it's just a waiting game, waiting for the perfect picks and opportunity, and that's a good opportunity. The wrist of Orange Juice gets moved forward a little bit. The bomb eliminates the Immortality Field coming out from Esme, and now that Dynamite from Dottie will just clean up the fight. Orange Juice ends up falling, and that's a beautiful shot coming out from Dottie on the Blinded. That's going to be another one fight here for Storybook Heroes, and they'll continue holding here with 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the side of Oreo Fleet.
Nice hold on the side of Storybook Heroes. Q getting picked off very early. That's really more on them than anything else. That was a clear line of sight for just Blinded to land a clean headshot from across the map. But the DPS line of Storybook Heroes really doing work and maintaining that high ground and keeping the tanks of Oreo Fleet from even setting up on high ground, because that's what they want. Oreo Fleet wants to get that high ground, and I think them just poking on bridge really isn't helping them as much. They're just letting Geomancer force his high ground on his own, and maybe that's the plan. They managed to bait the tanks of Storybook Heroes onto a corner, but I hope they're ready, because there's a Dragon on the side of Storybook Heroes, and Oreo Fleet hasn't made any push. They have ults to make this push, like the Bongo from Orange Juice, but they're just not being decisive on where they want to go. It seems like they're just hanging around and chilling around, trying to figure out what to do.
They're also losing picks one by one. Water got 2 pickups before the fight even started here, and now the rest of the kills going in favor of Storybook Heroes. Genji Main gets 2. Dottie, or Davion, we're not going to talk about it. At least you got the kill on the Blinded, but still, we're not going to talk about that. But Storybook Heroes still holding this out.
No. That is totally calculated. I call those style points. They're like he needed to send a message. He was sending a I will diff you on Baby Diva, but we have Oreo Fleet attempting to cross the bridge, and they really have to do it using an ult, because there's a lot of ults on the side of Storybook Heroes, and they're just really waiting on when to use it, like that Mines from Genji Main.
Yeah, Mines come out first here from Genji Main, forces out the Kinetic Grasp from Geomancer. Dottie able to get the kill on the Blinded, but Concept has found 2 in this fight thus far. Dragons comes out from Water, unable to get any sort of picks, just separates the rest of the members, and Concept's left on the low ground, just barely able to stay alive until Davion gets the melee kill right onto him. Storybook Heroes showing to manage these cooldowns really well. Beautiful bomb from Dottie, shoots Orange Juice straight to the sky, and that's 1 sip dead from Dottie. Storybook Heroes still being able to hold this, but now 20 seconds and a little bit of progress being made here from Oreo Fleet.
Yeah, they should just zone out, leave this high noon, let the cart turn the point until where they actually get a cleaner sight line of Oreo Fleet. Geomancer opts to use a Flux, and he cancels it early just because of that bomb from Davion.
Davion gets 2 with the bomb as well. Esme and Blinded both fall. The shield from Mr. Oreo Man wasn't enough to be able to protect the fight, and Storybook Heroes trying to clean this up here and now. That's a massive dynamite as well coming out from Dottie, trying to clean up the fight. Water gets that kill on the Concept, and now it's all looking pretty nice here for the side of Storybook Heroes. Q ends up dying to Orange Juice, but I mean, it's a ball against an Ana. What do you expect? But still, it actually might be close here. Esme's back on the Moira, and Mr. Oreo Man is still alive on this Brigitte. That's a really sustainable support line, and they could try to stall this spot out for as long as possible if they're able to keep themselves alive here. But Water able to get the kill on the Geomancer. It's just looking back and forth. But overall, Storybook Heroes getting the kills they need. Not finding the supports, but still, the skills they need is all you need right now.
I'm waiting for Mines on Mines point. Oh, there it goes. Oh, mining their mines, hoping to create more space for Oreo Fleet, and Dottie just drops the bomb, making this such a harder push for Oreo Fleet.
Yep, the bomb able to pick out Mr. Oreo Man as well. All that's left is Mr. Orange Juice and Esme. Esme gets picked up by Dottie. Doing a lot of work on this Ash, by the way. Dottie gets 3 in this fight thus far. All that's left is this Reinhardt of Geomancer. And that's a 4 for Dottie as well on the Blinded. Let's just make it 4 at that point. Storybook Heroes hold off the Oreo Fleet here on the second point. 77 meters taken by them. But now Storybook Heroes, they need to get that in order to bring us to a decider map 5.
Switching sides.
Storybook Heroes showing a lot of promise with this ball composition that they have. Maybe a little needs some work on the first point. I personally think they gave up too much space to Oreo Fleet right away, and I guess like the slam engages weren't as weren't, I guess, in the line of sight for Dottie and Water to like get value off of them right away. But they managed to turn it around in second point, which is something that I love to see. When Water switched over to the Hanzo, the double sniper from Storybook Heroes really showed up to date, especially on capitalizing on Genji main slams. And it looks like we have another pause. I wonder if it's the same person who DC'd. And looking at what's on the feed, it seems like Mr. Oreo Man isn't in, by the way. So it might be on Oreo Fleet's end yet again.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Oreo Man is indeed DC because he hasn't chosen a hero yet. And when you're on defense, you probably want to choose that hero as quickly as possible so you can get with the rest of your team. He said he's back now, obviously. The internet issues are troublesome. Booth can tell you all about it. Yeah. So we're going to be getting back into the map here, and we're going to see what the plan is here, what Mr. Oreo Man is going to run. Probably will be running that Brigitte to run the anti-dive defense. That's exactly what he's going to run here. So Genji Main's still on the ball. Now we're going to have a sniper duel between Dottie and Blinded and Water and Concept here. I think this is going to be an interesting push here from Storybook Heroes.
I think how this is going to work is really going to heavily depend on how these teams understand how their tanks want to play. On the side of Oreo Fleet, you know they're going to be trying to build that nano so that they could just nano their Zarya and then brawl it out, or just nano the monkey so the monkey can dive on the supports of Storybook Heroes. On the side of Storybook Heroes, they're looking to disrupt and create openings for the DPS for Dottie and Water to get picks from the slams. And right away, Blinded just gets Dottie right off the bat.
Yeah, Blinded get that first pick up onto Dottie. Make that one score for Blinded in this Widowmaker duel. But Genji Main able to eliminate Orange Juice. Not enough sustain there for the rest of the team to be able to keep the Winston alive here. So that's a big pick coming out here from Storybook Heroes. They lose Davion's mech in the meantime. And Concept's found another kill onto Alley Cat. So it's already looking a little rough here for Storybook Heroes. They probably need to push back. But Dottie finds the kill to Mr. Oreo Man. Finds the second one on the Blinded. Dottie's starting to show up in this fight again. Breaks it even here in the Widowmaker duel. And trying to get the kill as well on the Concept. This could be winnable here for Storybook Heroes. As I say that, he dies.
Okay, here's the thing. You know what Dottie wanted. He wanted Concept's head so bad. It just so happened that Orange Juice gave the perfect shield for Concept to play behind, and Genji Main has not the same resources for, you know, Dottie to have that shield. Maybe a slam could have made it a better opening, but it looks like there's a dragon on both sides, and Nano has been popped onto the monkey by Esme.
Yeah, Dottie gets another headshot kill on the Blinded here, so it could be difficult here. Orange Juice ends up getting killed out here. Concept also dies to Dottie as well. Dottie's Widowmaker has just been a force to be reckoned with, and the Dragon from Water will clean up the point here. Storybook Heroes might be able to push this into the first point cleanly and effectively here.
You can see Dottie is just looking for the Ana, and Esme just juking out Dottie's crosshairs. Great play from her. And Genji Main decides to make this a bit difficult for them by just dropping mines in their old spot, and it does get Esme in the process.
Yeah, definitely good move there from Genji Main. As you see, they're Storybook Heroes just trying to push her the advance. Make sure that Oreo Fleet can't get that close hold potential here. Set up on this high ground, make it so they can't get the hold, and right now it's going to work. And Dottie again gets the kill on the Blinded after Blinded gets the kill on the Water. It's been a show of the Widowmakers, and Dottie's been owning it.
Dottie managed to escape through all of that. You saw him drop to like 2 digits, and in the process, all of that gets Orange Juice.
Yeah, Dottie, just a lot of support coming out from Storybook Heroes. They know how to support their DPS when they need them the most. Concept in the backline trying to get the kill. Won't be able to here. Alley Cat able to finish off the kill there. But right now it's looking rough here. Dottie finally dies to Geomancer on the Diva here. But Storybook Heroes still looking really strong here. The rally invested here from Alley Cat trying to push them over the line here as they're very close to finishing out here on Rialto. But they might just wait a little bit. Davion's lost his mech, and just like that, it looks like Storybook Heroes might be retreating out of this fight. But Oreo Fleet don't notice that Genji Main's in the backline.
I think Genji Main's gonna attempt a C9 here, but I think Oreo Fleet is smarter than that.
Yeah.
Like, you have people still on the point. You have the Widow still on the point. Like, Blinded could have taken high ground by now, and he's opted not to because he's worried of that C9 from the ball. But hearing the grapple being used, oh, he leaves.
Oh, he almost got him. He might be just be able to kill him. Why did he get kicked off by Water, actually? The pile drive set him right up so Water could get the headshot kill. Davion also gets the kill on the G-Mancer, who gets the bomb kill onto the enemy, onto the Hanzo of Water. And right now, Storybook Heroes, this has just been a ridiculousness, but still they're winning this fight in the Madras. But Orange Juice gets the boop off on the Davion, trying to bring it back here with the Primal Rage, trying to bring it back here for the side of Oreo Fleet as they're trying to set the point. Banana Boost goes on the Alley Cat of all people. As Storybook Heroes, they still want to try to invest in this fight. They still want to win. Mine's invested here from Genji Main, trying to separate the rest of Oreo Fleet off the point. And it's just been a mess right now, but at the end of the day, Oreo Fleet going to be able to win this fight and be able to get the hold.
Oreo Fleet is just getting a lot of value from the Nano Monkey, so it's been hard for Storybook Heroes to actually set up. I honestly think that Genji Main does want to set up these openings for his DPS line, but they're unable to cross this bridge without losing people in the process. So it looks like they're opting to make some massive swaps 2 minutes into the fight, which is, I think, a good time to make these swaps because you have time to build ult. They're going for a brawl, just knowing that they're not going to get poked out. If anything, the only thing that's going to poke them out is going to be Blinded and Esme, and even then, the damage from those heroes onto the shield isn't really as big. So they just gotta watch their heads. Dottie opting to still stay on the Hanzo for that pick potential, but I can see them just trying to clear out high ground, brawl it out, and make this a dry fight and build ults so that they have something to reaggress onto the point.
Yep, Storybook Heroes start making engaged. Big pick up from Genji Main. Another big pick from Dottie. Knows concept was coming to the back line. Eliminates that Tracer threat. So the Pulse Bomb won't be online here for now. Storybook Heroes now stepping on the card here. They have this bomb from Davion to try and separate all the enemy team from the card. As Davion goes aggressive to the high ground. Gets booped off as the Nano Boost used on the Geomancer here for the side of Oreo Fleet. They're trying to win this fight out in the aftermath. The bubble used here from Orange Juice as he makes the dive in. He has the Primal Rage as well to try and settle it here. Blinded, trying to find any sort of picks as possible. Dottie uses the Dragon Strike onto the card here and is able to find Blinded. Genji Main finishes off Geomancer as well, and Storybook Heroes finishing out the fight here. Genji Main shattered, eliminating Orange Juice as well, and Storybook Heroes are going to bring this to a map 5 situation here tonight. They want to end this story off on a high note.
You know, they're climbing back from their elimination pool run of a 3-0, hoping to add another win into their winner's bank. They're tired from their losses during round 1 and just want to continue their wins from round 2. And this is a great showing from them, showing different compositions that they can run. And this is looking way promising. If there's anything that I could point out for Oreo Fleet, because they did such a good job in holding the second point of Rialto, they did really well for holding off Storybook Heroes for a while. I think it was just that last fight. They knew it was kind of last fight territory, but rather than staggering their ultimates, because they did have 4 ultimates in the back, rather than staggering it off, they kind of dumped them all at once. And I think that hurt them more than that hurt them a lot, considering that what Storybook Heroes wanted at the start was just really a dry fight, and you know, to build ults in the process, which they did, especially with the Shatter from Genji Main. And these teams are showing a lot of different looks, and it's been an interesting series to watch.
Definitely has been an interesting series to watch. And now, Oreo Fleet are put in a map 5 situation once again this season, facing potential elimination this time. They have to choose between... Their first map was... Oh, what was their first map again, Thea?
Their first map was Busan. So
Busan. It's been a long series.
Yeah, I was going to say their options are to go to Lijiang Tower and Oasis, which are not in the map pool, but they wanted to go to it so badly.
Their actual options are Nepal and Ilios. So, if you are Oreo Fleet, which map do you go for? And actually, you don't have to answer that question because they've already decided what map they're going to be playing here. And it's going to be Nepal. So, interesting choice, because this is a brawl-heavy map here, Thea.
Not necessarily. I think they're banking on hitting Sanctum, which is a really good double shield map, right? If you can, and then just, you know, where the chips may fall the rest of the maps, right? Like, maybe they'll try to mirror the brawl and and hopefully win in some process, because they have shown that they could play the Brawl, and that Oreo Fleet can play Brawl, right? And they've shown that they could play it with a Genji also. So there's been different looks. I'm not discounting anything from Oreo Fleet. They might have just had like a very different thought process on how they want to play. And when deciding between Nepal and Ilios, so we'll see how it goes.
They're discussing Oreos because Oreo fan ended up disconnecting again. Has obviously internet issues throughout the entire night, so hopefully he'll be getting in. Our own producer has even said double stuffed or get out.
Wait.
Agreed.
Okay, I was going to say, wait, y'all are talking about Oreos, but like, let me get my Oreos, because I actually have like a set of Oreos in like right in my snack box. I have a snack box right under my desk, and like, I haven't been able to find this flavor afterwards, and let me just get it.
Oh no.
Okay. But like, I do have like, they're essentially the Java chip flavored ones. And like, those are the ones that I personally, like, I really like these ones, just because like they're coffee flavored, and I just like coffee. So, and it's a really good difference. But like, Oreos are Oreos. Like, Oreos are really good. I like the Java chip ones. I haven't seen them in the stores in a while. I've had this pack since like late last year, and I haven't been able to find like a new pack. So it's kind of sad. Maybe they're just not selling it anymore, but they were like really good. So I kind of need to find a new flavor of Oreos to try that aren't the usual Oreos.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Oreo diff will come into factor here as we're heading over to Nepal really quickly. Mr. Oreo Man is back in the game. They're keeping in orange juice here. They're not willing to keep in their other main tank. I'm assuming that they are not the same person. I'm betting they are the same person at this rate, because we haven't seen their other main tank in the lobby since orange juice has joined.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. But we could always just look at the match sheet. But, like, I'm not willing to look at that right now, because this has been an exciting series. I'd rather watch this than look at boring match sheets that have, like, the list of players, right? We're coming into Nepal, and we are starting off at...
Village.
What are your guesses? Village, yes. Bowsy's already just spoiling it for, like, everyone here. We're starting
I know.
off
Listen, we have view of everything here, Thea. We know what's coming.
We even know which scenes that Booth is switching into because of how Booth is kind of struggling today. But like, thank you, Booth, for like your hard work today with production and making sure things are still running smoothly. But yes, we are now in Village, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a mirror matchup from both sides. Going for a brawl with a Sim Mei variant. And something to note, when playing Symmetra, it is better to actually put your turrets on the wall compared to going for a turret bomb. Case in point, when I told my teammate Boomcore to start doing that, he actually got kills with his turrets.
Yeah, as they're moving into the point here, we're getting ready to see a lot of brawl style. The wall comes out early here from Concept. Water unable to get his out. As the Immortality Field very early used here from Esme. Storybook Heroes just trying to pump themselves onto the point. Oh, and they found Blinded Alone! That's a huge pick coming out from Davion to find that Symmetra, but Genji Main will fall in the aftermath to Geomancer. Now they're just trying to eliminate the Reinhardt here of Orange Juice, trying to get rid of that main tank threat. Storybook Heroes will be able to cap this point first, but it might not be enough here, considering they're down their own main tank here. Q needs to stay alive. We'll have this window online, but there's a shadow from Orange Juice. Eliminates Alley Cat immediately. Storybook Heroes already down a lot, and now the Oreo Fleet starting to push forward very fast. That's going to be the cap here from Oreo Fleet after 14% taken by the Heroes.
See, I will tell you that's Storybook Heroes could have had that whole point in the bag and not have to flip it back to Oreo Fleet so quickly if there was a bit more target focus. Yes, they got blinded out right away, but there was like zero focus on that Reinhardt who had been pinned to the wall by like Water had such a huge wall, and now they're just TPing straight to point using the wall of Dottie.
And that's a massive shatter coming out from Genji Main onto Orange Juice, trying to eliminate that Reinhardt threat early. Orange Juice ends up dying to Davion as well, and now the pressure is here for the side of Oreo Fleet. But that's a massive blizzard coming out from Concept. It freezes everybody on the side of Storybook Heroes. The bomb from Davion does nothing except eliminate Concept, and that's a team kill for Oreo.
That is a huge team wipe. honestly, good trade of ults from both sides. You had the wall from Dottie, which was countered by a wall from Blinded, and also a blizzard from Concept. Coming in, the water is going to have this blizzard, and I hope Geomancer is ready for that and doesn't just throw bomb willy-nilly and give a blizzard opportunity for Storybook Heroes.
Can we just point out that was Concept's wall, I think, that blocked the Diva Bomb coming out from Geomancer. Regardless, Storybook Heroes now trying to push forward here since that Diva Bomb has been used here from the side of Geomancer. Trying to get this Blizzard off as well. The beat comes out here from Mr. Oreo Man as Water looking for that perfect opportunity. Dottie gets the kill on the Concept, but Geomancer finds Genji Bane on the Reinhardt. Now the Blizzard comes out here from Water. The beat as well from Alley Cat to try and shut this out. Storybook Heroes will be able to flip the point here, but still, the rest of Oreo Fleet is still alive, and Orange Juice is still alive, well and healthy, trying to get rid of the rest of the team of Storybook Heroes. And once again, Oreo Fleet profiting off despite losing the point first.
There's just a really smart re-engage on the side of Oreo Fleet, but also I think, like, Q has been doing a good job on Ana, but I think his back positioning at least needs a bit of work, I think, at least from what I've seen. Like, Q has really good lamps, and they have bailed out the team. But I think he gets split very easily by either a wall or by a Diva pressuring him, rather than just stacking closer to his team. And now you have Blinded popping a wall, and I don't think that's going to help with the bomb placement.
No, Blinded able to get the kill into Davion as well, so now it's overtime here for Storybook Heroes, and they're already down one in this fight, but that's a massive flash of wall coming out from Water and Dottie, able to eliminate Orange Juice, so now the main tank not there for the side of Oreo Fleet, but it may not matter, because guess who is live? Blinded, and he has a level 3 Symmetra beam, just beaming down your team, sending them all back to the grave. Oreo Fleet will win here on Nepal Village.
I think there was some hope for Storybook Heroes at that start, wherein they did pressure Blinded out from the Symmetra right away, and then they would collapse, I think, right afterwards in like getting the remaining people. I think Storybook Heroes, at least their team, isn't on the same page on who to go on or on who to target, and I think that's what has been hurting them after they take the point. The reason why their Oreo Fleet's able to switch it back in their favor right away is just really maybe the lack of target focus on the side of Storybook Heroes. But we're now on Sanctum, and am I really going to be seeing Zen Lucio on my games? No, I am seeing an actual dive setup from Oreo Fleet. Thank goodness I did not see Zen Lucio heals. So we have Brawl on the side of Storybook Heroes and a dive on Oreo Fleet. And noticing this, Oreo Fleet has decided to just kite right away. That's all you can do, especially if you're running into a brawl. And Monkey really doesn't work best in a swinging hammer range of Orion. And oh dear, that is a big wall.
It is a big wall from Water, but still, Oreo Fleet trying to keep themselves alive. Orange Juice gets frozen up, killed out by Dottie as well. But the point still needs to be touched here, and it's going to be Oreo Fleet getting the first cap here thanks to Blinded on that Soldier 76. Eliminates the mech of Davion as well as Storybook Heroes try to make their way to the point here to try and contest it for their own, but you gotta be careful about these dive targets and these spam DPS that are just gonna keep stalling it out. Dottie gets the kill onto Esme, now Concept dies to Alley Cat. Blinded able to get that kill onto the Lucio, but still, Storybook Heroes looking really good in the sustain. They're all grouping together, all keeping themselves alive, and that lamp is there from Q to be able to keep the rest of the team alive. But as I say that, Genji Main and Dottie fall. Dottie unable to get the kill into Orange Juice, but all of a sudden Mr. Oreo Man. But guess who's still uncontested? Blinded on the Soldier 76, who has the Tactical Visor in the first fight! They weren't able to deal with the Soldier 76, and at the end of the day, it's gonna cost Storybook Heroes as Oreo Fleet will win the fight.
Come on, try me.
I think my bigger question from all of that was that yes, they had the point, and they were like being pressured out by like the poke from outside like the point from Oreo Fleet, but I think Storybook Heroes could have invested at least one ult to get Orange Juice out of the point, because he was the only one stalling the point for a while.
Nano Boost comes out here onto Orange Juice. The Pulse Bomb also comes out here for Concept and finds Dottie on the Cassidy. Already two big picks in favor here for the side of Storybook Heroes. And Water just succumbs himself to the edge of the pit. You know, you need to fill that moat up a little bit. But Oreo Fleet get another close hold. And it's looking like last fight territory here for Storybook Heroes.
I mean, Storybook Heroes is, I mean, Water going into the pit really to fill a moat is just very fitting for his name. So, props to him for knowing to just succumb to his natural tendencies and regroup with the team. And they're coming in with 3 ults. A Blizzard, really good for denying the point, and a High Noon from Dottie and Davion, which I think they're using the High Noon to create this space, but I hope they're keeping Dottie safe throughout all of this.
They're able to. The Deadeye ends up splitting away the rest of Oreo Fleet, and Storybook Heroes able to claim the point. Here comes the bomb coming out from Geomancer. Won't be able to get anything, but Genji main dies to Blinded. That's a massive pickoff here from Oreo Fleet as Storybook Heroes struggling a little bit to try and find their footing here. Dottie and, however, Davian and Dottie able to get the kill off on the concept there on the Tracer as Dottie stuck in this little bit of room as Alley Cat now dead to Orange Juice. Bomb comes out here from Davion, unable to get any sort of kills with it, and now the Tactical Visor back online, but Genji may get the Fire Strike kill on the Blinded to be able to eliminate that Tactical Visor before it gets any sort of value, and Storybook Heroes are going to be able to hold the point because of it.
Oh, that's a punch straight into Concept's head. And, that worked. Okay, Genji being landing his fire strikes on, like, squishy targets. Are you sure he's a tank player? That's, like, aim. Are we sure he's not actually a hit scan player? But, jokes aside,
the name. The name.
Genji's a proj. You can't tell me
Close
that's
enough!
Anyways, coming into this fight, there's a High Noon from Storybook Heroes, and that's gonna be good space denial. And honestly, this beat from Alley Cat would be very helpful when they realize that Esme has Nano and will probably Nano the Monkey next.
Big pick from Genji main, already eliminates Blinded on the Soldier 76, but he has to be careful. Geomancer and the rest of Oreo Fleet able to find him out, and now the team is starting to crumble. Alley Cat has to use the beat to try and protect themselves, but already so many kills have gone in favor of Oreo Fleet, cleaning up this fight one by one. All that's left is Q. They will die in the end. Davion will also die. Now it's desperate here for Storybook Heroes to try and touch.
Genji main just showing that he's gonna try getting a Shatter at least to end up in style, but at the end of the day, Oreo Fleet takes it back, and they're turning things around. It seems like whatever happened in round 2, the losses, they're just losses. They're going to get themselves back and take it as a win. And for the person who has DC'd, I think 3 times today, Mr. Oreo Man gets play of the game for this map with this fancy Brigade play that, keeps the point for Oreo Fleet.
Unfortunately, this is not a happily ever after for Storybook Heroes. They leave Tranquility and get eliminated from the Discord tier playoffs, but Oreo Fleet come back after a rough stage number 2 and bring themselves sailing on into the next round. They face Ragnarok Fenrir next week in the knockout round number 2. It was a good match all around, but Thor Yumea, we have to choose a player of the match from the side of Oreo Fleet.
I will be honest, I will give it to... I personally would like to give this to the man who loves Oreos and, has the team name named after him. Maybe by some chance, who knows, but I'll give it to Mr. Oreo Fleet. Very, very stable, especially on that main support. Did a lot of work on the Brigade, actually knew when to use those rallies, and they really sustained the team of Oreo Fleet very well through all these fights.
Yeah, definitely Mr. Oreo fan doing a really good job to that entire thing. Actually, Mr. Oreo Man, I apologize. But I'm going to give my player of the match to someone who really showed up when it mattered the most. I'm giving mine to Blinded. Blinded did really good on that hit scan and the projectile rolls, doing a really good job, has been a really good and consistent DPS for this team, and has shown that they are really willing to contend with the best. So my player of the match is Blinded. Big shout out to Concept, who was doing a lot of work, Orange Juice, who did really good on that main tank, and also for the players of Storybook. Dottie is a ridiculous DPS player. I don't think anyone can argue that they definitely were one of the best players in this match, but at the end of the day, Dottie definitely showed up when it mattered, but at the end of the day, Storybook Heroes, unfortunately, will be bowing out of Tranquility to Oreo Fleet. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you all for watching this amazing production. From everybody here in the production booth, including my amazing co-caster Thor Yumea and our wonderful producer Booth, my name is Vin Bowsy. Until we meet again, we hope you have an amazing night.